You recording? There we go.
Yes, I am.
Okay. We really do appreciate it when it's interactive, but it's got to be some level of controlled interactive. So preferably, if you have a question, put it in the chat, and rather than just interrupt the flow when we get to a logical break, we'll go ahead and address those questions. But if it's really pressing and you feel like you gotta have it happen right away, then just go ahead and just blurt it out. So. All right. Well, so listen, kind of excited about today, and I'm just really going to revisit where we have been and where we are. Before we do that, though, I want to go to the first. I found this quote on NAR's website, and Erin, do I have control or do you have control to move the slides?
I have control.
Okay. So today is obviously going to be about, the title is Easy and Powerful Marketing. And there's probably 1,000 companies out there that try and get your marketing dollars, and we're not another one. This is very pragmatic application that really will move the needle in your business if you take it to heart and follow some of what Erin's about to share. So the quote is this: why should you care about marketing? Why should you, right? Some people, I've run across agents like, I don't know, I just kind of, I'm just really friendly with people, and you know, business comes to me. And you know what, there's some truth to that, but it's not a super intelligent approach to the business. You want to have some level of predictability and some level of systemization. And so this was a quote I found through NAR, and it says, you can't cultivate a book of business by force or through sheer determination. Nurture, not nature, is the key for realtors looking to connect with and retain clients. Nurture. But how can you stay top of mind in those long gaps between the time a client buys and sells their home? This could be quite literally the million-dollar question for realtors over the course of their careers. That's not an overblown statement, you guys. This is really true. And so, you know, I think that since there are so many offerings out there, I think sometimes we get inundated. And just like the first two modules, our approach today is to show you some of the key components that are relatively easy to use, to set up, and even in many cases automate, with the support of a legitimate, ridiculous marketing company in the background through Erin and her organization, and maybe help you rethink how you approach your marketing specifically with your SOI. So let's go ahead and move to the next slide, Erin. We used this in the last module, but I'm going to keep beating this drum because I want it to stick in your head. This is a horrible stat. This is horrible. 93% of consumers say they'll work with the same agent again. 15% actually do. We are here to flip that number and say 93% of your clients or better choose to not only say they'll work with you, but actually do work with you going forward. This is the problem that it is at the center of what we're doing with these kvCORE training modules. Okay. So with that, I wanted to just give you a quick high-level roadmap. I think it's important. I love instructors who will tell you where you're going in the training so that you can actually see it unfolding and therefore be aware of what's coming and stay engaged. So the roadmap today, where we have been, the first module was talking about the critical nature of getting your SOI into an actual CRM. And I am pleading with you to make sure that that is done, because it's so important as you now apply these additional concepts. Second module was the daily hustle, where this is kind of a rethink, perfectly honest, for a lot of agents to not just stumble into their day, but to have a dashboard, a central place where they come in and quickly get a grasp of what they need to do by way of their daily hustle, right? What are the key components? So that was module 2. And today, Erin's going to cover key marketing components that will now that your SOI is available and organized and structured, that will literally help you. They'll help you nurture, just like that quote, your hard work efforts and relationships into something that is way more usable and predictable in your individual business. So today, Erin's going to cover, I'm just going to rattle these off. She's going to cover marketing reports. She's going to cover search alerts, CMAs. We're going to do a brief intro on Core Presents because it's a big enough component that we're going to have its own module at the end. We're going to cover intelligent and customized mass messaging through text and email. And we'll kind of finish up with, we will finish up with the great flexibility of customized campaigns and how you can leverage the infrastructure that's in kvCORE for messaging that's really curtailed to how you want to interact with your SOI. So I'm excited about today. I hope you are too. The whole goal of these trainings is to give you very pragmatic information. And so with that, I don't know if I set the hurdle too high, Erin, but there you have it. It's all you.
Awesome. I'm excited to show you guys around and show you guys some marketing tools that will help you guys grow your business, and they're easy to set up. So the first one is market reports. So I'm going to show you, we're going to go over to kvCORE and I'm going to show you how to add a market report. Before I want to explain what it is. So it's a brief snapshot of the area. You can set it up based on a zip code, by a city, or by a county or neighborhood. And it's going to send an email to them every 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, or 28 days to your client. And it will send them an email. It looks like this over here. And it will have the average sales price, average days on market, and price per square feet. They can go and view the report, and then it would go over to your core home, and it would show them even more stats beyond that. So I'm going to jump over because I want to show you guys how to add this inside of kvCORE. So I'm going to exit out my presentation. Let me go over to Roger's kvCORE platform that he's letting me use. I'm going to go over to the Smart CRM. So this is the platform when you log in. And if you go over to the left, you're going to see Smart CRM. If you do not see this tab, this is called a hamburger, these 3 lines. Just click this button and it will pull up, and then you'll see Smart CRM. So we're going to click on Smart CRM. And then last module, got logged out. Let me log back in. Sorry about that. So we're going to go over to Smart CRM and then all contacts. And then last module, I asked you guys to go in and add yourself. I added myself inside of Roger's module. So I'm going to go and click on the contact. If you need to go search for the contact, you would just come up here to where it says search name, and you would put the contact's name. So I'm just going to type out the name. You can also do their phone number or their email address to find the contact. I'm going to select Erin Menard. I'm going to select the contact, so select their name. And then over on the right-hand side at the bottom, this is where you're going to add a market report. So where it says market report in blue, it has a plus and then an add icon. And then we're going to press that. We're going to search for either, like I said, a zip code, a city, a county, or a neighborhood. So I'm going to search for Bountiful. And then I wait for it to grab the different locations because it's looking for neighborhoods in Bountiful. It's looking for the city. So I'm going to go and I'm going to select, I want the city in Bountiful. And then I'm going to say, I want to send the report every 7 days, 14 days, 21, or 28. I suggest 28. I feel like it would be a lot if you were doing it every week. I don't want them to unsubscribe. Yes.
I'm sorry. Can you refresh your screen? It's not like it's like stopped when you went over to the where it just says validation run and prospect. I don't see anything else that you're doing. I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Is anybody else experiencing that? Because on my screen, I'm seeing everything.
I can see everything.
I can see everything.
Jeff, I think
I'm just the oddball. I apologize.
It's okay. Better to raise the question.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe try leaving and then coming back on, or that might be a good idea to try doing that, Jeff, and see if that helps.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I would do every 28 days and then say add. And then I'm going to say send now. It goes and shows you, is this correct? It is a city. It's Bountiful. It's sending it every 28 days. I'm going to press send. And now it's going to send that market report to this contact. So it's sending it right now. I'm just going to let it send. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like.
So Erin, while you're waiting for that, I'm just going to interject something here. I don't know if I'm different. I think we're all very similar in this regards. And that is, if somebody tells me it's coming, I'm more inclined to not only open it and read it, but also not click stop. So if you're going to do something like this, I highly suggest that you have some dialogue with your SOI before you send that out, and let them know, hey, you know what? A lot of people are asking what's going on in the market. I have a monthly update for your neighborhood I'm going to be sending out. Is that okay? Get permission, whatever your dialogue is, so they at least have a heads up. And I think your success rate goes up dramatically.
I love that, Matt. So you can come right up here and say new call and give them a call and let them know you just set these up. I just sent it to your email. Go take a look at it, you know? And what's really nice is you can see what the email looks like. Anything that's coming from your system, you can see the emails in the timeline. So you can see there's an email going out because there's an arrow going outside of the CRM. If they opened it, this envelope would show blue. And then if you want to see what the email looks like, just press this view icon and you can see the market report. And then I can go view it. And this is what it looks like over on your website. It hops over to your home ownership platform. And it populates and it shows the map of where it's located, the average list price, price reductions, shows the hottest listings, the most expensive, more details, the highest sold and recently sold. And again, I talked about this in the before in the other trainings, but we can provide sold data because they are your client. And so we can provide that information. If they were to go anywhere else like Zillow, this information would not be provided. But because we have an IDX feed, you're a real estate agent and they're your client, you're able to provide this sold data. So very important. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, scroll up a little bit. I'm just curious what everybody thinks about the format. Is this not an appealing format? Right? I mean, it looks professionally done. I love the fact that it's showing the geographical area that data is being pulled for and is referencing. It gives them some eye candy, some visual pictures of things that are used, the most expensive. These are the curiosity things that when we have our conversation with our clients that aren't ready to move, what's going on in the market, or we share, hey, man, did you see this? I mean, we had a $48 million home up the canyon from where I live, and that was a hot topic, with a lot of people. So again, the point of these is to stay top of the mind and to make conversations more plausible and probable.
Yeah, and they can click on any of the listings and get more details on your website. They can scroll through the photos. It looks very large. The normal view when you would go, it would look like this. I always zoom out. I have pretty good eyesight, so sorry when I showed you guys before, but this is what it would normally look like. It would be zoomed in and they would see all that info. So very cool. So that is the market reports. The next thing is the search alerts. So maybe you have somebody that is a prospect that they're looking for a home, or they have considered, or maybe their family, like their mom is considering moving back into town and they're looking at properties, and you're sending listing alerts through the MLS. One thing that I don't know if everybody else struggles with, but what I've heard is the front porch, accepting them to the front porch. They have to accept that before they ever start getting emails from you. And then they accept it. You're sending them information. They go click on the listing they like, and then it has Joe from Coldwell Banker's information on it instead of yours. Let's stop doing the listing alerts on the MLS, put them over on your kvCORE, start sending search alerts where it's always going to have your contact information. It has large photos, accurate information, which MLS does too, but this is going to be more branded to you. And it's easy for them to use. It's easy for you to use. So let me show you how to switch.
Erin?
Yes.
You may be covering this, but is it as updated as the MLS? Like MLS is pretty much in real time.
Yes.
Send it like an express send.
Yes, there is. So I will show you how to do that. And your website has a what they call is a RETS feed on it. So it's the fastest feed that there is out there. It's not like a Zillow feed where it takes sometimes a day or two to get the new listings on there. It's updated every 15 minutes, if not sooner, with homes for sale. So if somebody, if you list a property, it's going to be on your website within 15 minutes, if not faster. Somebody from Keller Williams lists a property, it's going to be on your website. If they change it to under contract, it will switch to under contract. All of that. It's very fast.
Let me speak to that for 2 seconds, Erin. As a former MLS board of director member for 10 years, RETS is the new industry standard, and it's amazing how many of the 500 MLSs across the country are not RETS compliant. And as a result, companies like Zillow, they're kind of stuck in the older solutions because most of their MLSs they interact with are there. So it's great that Inside Real Estate is forward thinking and is RETS compliant and utilizes the latest technology so things can be almost instantaneous.
Yes. And so to add these alerts, you would go inside your contacts profile, and there's two ways to get to it. So you can either on the right-hand side, go to search alerts and add, or at the top, there's different tabs and you can go to alerts. I'm going to come over here to search alerts and just say add, and then you can add a search alert. So basically you can search by city, county, zip code. Again, you can do it by neighborhood, or you can do it by schools. Another really cool thing is you can come in here and draw on a map. So maybe somebody's very particular in the area that they want. I know that happens a lot in like Salt Lake City, right? They want a particular neighborhood. You can scroll in here and you could say, they only want in here.
Avenues.
And yep, the avenues. And I don't know if I'm there, but
You're close.
I'm close. And so you could say they only want these areas, and then you can say apply selections, and then only the homes in this area will be showing to them. I'm going to exit out of there, and I'm going to show you actually how to add a city or a county or a zip. So let's say they're interested in Davis County. You would just press Davis, type out Davis, wait for it to populate because it's actually looking for Davis schools. It's looking for Davis neighborhoods. So give it a second, and then it pops up and it has County Davis, and you need to select that. And you can add multiple. So maybe they want to be in Davis, but they also are wanting to maybe be in Weber County. You could go in and type out Weber, wait for it to populate, because again, it's searching for all those different areas that are labeled Weber, and then say County Weber. And then it will be sending them any homes in the county of Davis or Weber County. And then this comes back to Shell to what you were talking about. Maybe you have a buyer that's hot in the market, everything that's populating is getting sold within, like, as soon as it gets listed on the MLS, all of a sudden there's 10 showings on the property. We had a time when that was happening, right? And so you want it to be sending them an email as soon as that listing populates, so that they can see it and that you can get a showing scheduled with them. So you can send an alert as soon as possible. So that would send it as soon as it gets listed on your website, it would send it to them. I would be careful on this, but there is a time and place for it, right? Most of the time people are going to want daily. You could do twice a week. Maybe they're just casually looking, not like super active. You could do once a week, twice a month, or monthly. I feel like the market reports replace those. So I don't see using that as much anymore, but they still have that as an option. But most of the time you're going to use daily or twice a week.
Aaron, I'm going to chime in. I'm going to beat a dead horse. Guys, I can't overstate this. This is so important. Rather than just plugging people in, make sure you're having the conversation with them. It's all about managing expectations. If things measure up to expectations, people are satisfied. If they don't measure up to expectations, they're frustrated. And so this is just, I want to make sure that it's so important that you have the conversation so they know. Ask them. I mean, listen, if I set it for immediate, you're going to get inundated every, 5 minutes with, or depending on how big their search area is. And so just walk it through them and talk it through with them so that you're meeting their expectations.
Love
Do you
that.
I have a question? Do the clients have to subscribe to this, or can we just put them in, like, do they have to approve their email? Okay,
They do not.
Okay.
But
Nope.
with that, Giselle, this is why the conversation is so important. If you don't do it and they just start popping up, it's very easy for them to say stop.
Right. I just want, how on the MLS, you usually have to ask them for that a connection invitation.
Yeah, this is a part of the beauty.
Okay.
Yep, you don't have to do that. So it will just start sending them an email. And then if you want to CC somebody, you can add this in here and CC somebody. I do always want to talk about this because it's been something that's happened multiple times, or I wouldn't bring it up. But do not put your email in there unless you want to have a bunch of emails. So I had one agent that put her email on every contact, and she had to go through 100 contacts and remove it. So don't put your email in here unless you know you want to be receiving those emails. You can see the emails after you send them in the timeline. So if you're like, I want to see what email Erin called me today and said, I love the home that you sent me today. I want to go look at it. You could go look in her profile and go look at the email that you sent to see the home. So you do not need to put your email in the CC. This is more for maybe a spouse that you want to CC. You could put their info in here. If you need multiple, you could press comma. And then listing type. So you can come in here and add the listing type. So I'm going to say single family. If you want condo, you can press condo as well. The price range. So you have the minimum and then the maximum. So I'm going to do 450 to 650. And then you can put bedrooms. So we'll do 3 bedrooms and then we'll do 2 baths. You can do half baths. I would leave that and I would just do the full baths and leave that open. If not, if it doesn't have a half bath, it's not going to show up. So I don't know how many times that's actually a deal breaker, Matt, but I don't see
Well,
that
no,
being a
I
deal
think
breaker for a
that's
lot.
I think that's a key point, right?
Yeah.
A half a bath usually isn't the deal breaker, but it can also be a very limiting item in your search. So don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then square feet. So then you can add the minimum square feet and then the maximum square feet. So we'll just put 2,000 in there. And then acres. So they have it based on acres or square feet, whichever you prefer. I think in Utah, most people do square feet. I mean, not square feet, acres. And then your built, the minimum and then the maximum. So we can just we'll put 2,000 in there, and then you could put a maximum if you wanted to. And then general options. So they give you options that most people select, like use but you don't need to use them. I would say the majority of the time you're going to just leave this. Garages usually are an important feature for people. But besides that, I would leave this open. If they need a pool, then you can do a pool. But as far as that goes, I would probably end there unless they want something particular. And then we're going to say, I always like to do set alert because I like to check my work before I send it and make sure that this is what they are looking for. So you can go and look at the houses that are going to be sent to them. And if you're like, that looks great, you can go back into edit, or if it's wrong, you can go back into edit and make changes. So I can say, oh, that looks great. I'm going to go to edit, and then I'm going to say save and send. And now it's going to send those homes. And now it's going to go out every day to them if there's anything that matches that criteria. Now, if something doesn't match that criteria and it's not new to the market, or the price changed and it fits into their price, then it's not going to send them an email. So if you're ever like, why didn't it send them an email? That's because there's no new homes in their search criteria.
Erin, I might have missed it, but is there a duration for the search results that you set up? Can you say this is good for a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year?
No, they do not have that right now. It just is ongoing. So
Okay.
after they're done, you're going to come in here. You can see right here in blue, it's toggled on. If you want to toggle it off, you can toggle it off.
Okay.
If you want to add another search alert, you can add another one. Right now, they only have the capability of adding 2 search alerts. I know Arshad was talking about adding more, but if for some reason you wanted to add another one, maybe they're looking for a cabin for some reason at the same time, you could go add another search alert on them.
To be clear, 2 search alerts per client.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so that is the search alerts part. And then I'm going to jump over and talk about the listing valuation. So you can also add listing valuations, which will provide a market update of your client's home value. And so, and that will go over to the Remax Utah Home app, and they can go look at those. So let me jump over to, yep.
I was just going to say you were in presenter mode on your PowerPoint. So.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Let me jump over to the timeline and I can show you how to go add the listing valuation.
While you're getting there, I hope you guys are seeing the sequencing here, right? At the more macro level, you have, here's just market alerts that are automated, to certain geographies. And, the next one becomes a little more refined, which is more specific search results. And then the next sequence where she's going to go into is the next progression. Hey, now I've got a higher level of interest. Now I'm talking about specific valuations.
Yes. So this is the property valuation, and you type out the property address and it connects with Google. It will populate the address and you can select it. And then we're going to press save. And right over here where it says listing valuation, it will actually give you an estimated home value of the property. So you can look at it and you can say, is that correct? 382, if you want to. Now this is computer generated. And so it will tell them when it sends the email, it is computer generated by a computer. You know, if you want your real home value, reach out to your agent. I can show you exactly what the word says.
When you click that edit there, is that just to edit the address, or is it to edit the valuation items within the valuation?
No, when you click edit, it is to edit the address. This
Okay.
one you cannot edit the valuation of. This is just computer generated. It grabs the
And
information.
AVM.
Yep, an AVM. So this is just, it grabs the information that it has from the tax county records and generates a estimated home value based on the tax records and the sold data on the MLS. And so that's where it's coming up with that value. I will show you later on how you can do your own home value inside of Core Presents. That is another way. So if you're like, that looks great, and you want to do an update and send, you can update and send. And again, like Matt said, reach out to them, let them know what you're doing. You're setting up an automated home value for them. If they ever have any questions, feel free to give me a call about it. And then this is going to send them an email right away. And then it will send them an email whenever their home value changes. So right here, you can see an email went out. We can view the email and you can see market price update, and then they can review now, and it's going to jump over to your home ownership app where they can see their estimated home value.
And there's kind of intention, right, to when they click that link to actually go to the website, because then there are statistics on what they're doing once they're on the website, right? So that's one of the benefits of that's by design, to get them over to your website. Analytics is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, sorry, you guys, I had two different things in here. So this is where it would populate and say, you can change the single family. You can say how many bedrooms, how many square feet, bathrooms. It just confirms the lot size. It didn't recognize it because I had two different homes in there, but you could go in and add the information. And this is what your clients will see, and they can edit their home information. So it would show their bedrooms, their square feet, bathrooms, and lot size.
So
and they could go get it.
So to your point earlier in a previous training, where they're pulling off of county records, and where a lot of people in Utah don't register, they don't license their basement build out. That's another conversation. Hey, when you get this automated valuation, realize it's pulling from county. So if you're not paying taxes on your basement build out,
Yeah,
you want a more accurate number, make sure you update the beds and baths and square footage.
yes, that is correct. So I'm going to jump back over here, and I showed you guys that. One thing I did miss was I showed you guys how to set up the search alerts, right? But I didn't show you what it looked like. So let's show you what that looks like real quick. So this is the email that Roger sent out to me, shows the new listings that match my criteria. It has a big a big photo of the front of the house, and shows additional homes that might match the criteria. And then I can go start my search and look at other homes that fit. And everything's branded to him, has his information, has his name, and has a list of homes that match my criteria. So really nice. They can click on it and get more info. You see Roger's photo, that would be your photo on everything. They can save the home if they like it. So that's what it looks like.
I use Roger's photo on my stuff. He's more handy.
Sure. You might have to get his permission though, Matt.
Right.
Okay. Any questions on that, you guys? All right. Let me go over, I showed you guys, the listing valuation that's automated. It goes out every month or every 28 days with their estimated home value. This is computer generated. There are some people that don't want the computer generated. I will tell you, if you don't set this up, they're going to go to Zillow and go get that information. So just so you know, I know some people don't like the computer generated, but if they don't get it here, they're going to go elsewhere to get it. So have them go to you instead.
Yeah, well, and I would say,
Aaron,
oh,
Yes.
go ahead.
so on the CMA that is just pulling the valuation from the county record, I think, were you gonna show us what the verbiage goes to the client?
Oh.
So when they read it, they know that it's a estimate.
Yeah, let
Like, were
me,
you gonna show us that, or did I
yeah,
just miss it?
no, you are totally correct, and I apologize. Let me show you. It's because I think it messed up a little bit on this. I had two different addresses in, so it was a little confused on, let me just do this real quick. It's gonna make me sign it and stuff. I'm sorry, you guys. I can send it to you afterwards. There is a place. I confused the system because I had Main Street and then I added my old address, so it confused it. It normally wouldn't do that, but it does have that it's an estimated value generated. Reach out to your real estate agent for a more accurate home value. And I can send that to you guys afterwards of what that looks like, but it is very prompt in their face. I confused the
It's probably some
system.
version of what you're seeing on screen right now.
Yeah,
right?
it is very similar. Yes.
Aaron, is there a way, what if they only want to have that, is there a way to change how often the report goes out? Is 30 days the longest? Like, what if they wanted it just maybe every quarter?
Yeah, that is something that we have put in a request, Giselle, is that we could change that. Right now. It's just every time that every 28 days is when it sends. So we have put in that request of every quarter that it goes out. And I will tell them again, we had another meeting and we have more agents asking about that request.
And every one of the agents on the call asked for that.
Yeah.
feature.
Everybody did. So we need to move forward with that. Yeah, that is something that I think they're very aware that they need to switch that to every quarter,
Okay, thanks.
or at least give that option. All right, so we went over the listing valuation that's generated by a computer, and then I want to talk about Core Presents just briefly with you guys. Core Presents is different. So it is generated by a computer, but then you can manipulate it from there. We will have a module, and Dan Dixon, that used to be an appraiser, and he is the broker of our Utah County office. He will be doing the training. And he's an expert in it. He uses it in his daily business all the time. And he will be doing that presentation. Basically, you can do a listing presentation and then have a CMA built inside of it. And then you can go in and you can manipulate that CMA and say, I want to remove this home, or it doesn't have that many bedrooms, it has this many bedrooms, and you can change that as the agent. And so he will be going over that in more detail. And that's something, it's only a one-off. So it's only going to send it one time to them, but they can always go back and look at it. And then you can always change it and send it to them again later on. So that's
yeah,
something you can do every quarter.
Yeah, Dan does a great job on this, you guys, and I highly recommend you stay tuned for that module. But just as a teaser, I mean, it gives you, my wife, many of you know, is an agent, and I was showing her the listing presentation that also incorporates the CMA, and she's like, and I told her it took me less than 10 minutes to do, and she's like, wow, that is ridiculously good looking. And you know, that's part of the game, right? When we go in, either there's a track for a listing presentation or a buyer presentation, they both look equally fantastic, and you can bust out a valuation from it. This is a really cool module, so make sure you're set up for that one when it comes.
Yeah, and like Matt said, it's not only for sellers, it's also for buyers. And Dan showed up me something I've never seen before that you can use when you're going out and showing homes, where they can like make notes or look at the property and compare it. It's really cool tool to send to your clients. So for sure, stay tuned for that module. And it is July 12th at 10 o'clock. Okay, and the next thing I wanted to show you guys is sending mass text messages within the system. So there's a way that you can go inside of the Smart CRM and you can filter down to the contacts that you want to send a mass text message to. So maybe you're having a client appreciation event and you want to send a mass text message, or maybe you're having an open house and you want to send a mass text message. I'm going to show you guys different ways that you can search inside of there and send inside of kvCORE, and some different ideas to send to people. So let's
Hey-
go over.
Hey,
Yep.
Aaron, I want to make sure, because I think sometimes when we hear that just as practitioners, we hear mass and it's almost a pejorative term. That's why in my overview and outline, I said, it really is. It's intelligent, focused mass messaging. It's not just, I'm sending to everybody in the universe.
Yes, for sure. And we talked about like hashtags before in the previous modules when you were adding your SOI in, make sure you're adding hashtags like A client and B client. That's where a lot of those come in handy. And also if you're utilizing your system and sending out the listing report emails and you're sending out market report emails, you can actually see it's intelligent enough to know like who's looking in what area, which is really cool for new listings or open houses. So let me go over to kvCORE. And let me show you how to do that. So I'm gonna, whenever you're inside of a profile, how you get out is just come over here to this exit, this X icon on the profile, and then it will go back over to the Smart CRM. If you're ever here and you're like, I don't know what to do, it's only showing one contact, just press this X button right here, and it's gonna clear everything out. And now you can see all of your contacts. So we talked about hashtags and how to use hashtags. I talked about a client. So let's say that Roger's having client appreciation event, okay? And he wants to send an email to everybody a text message to everybody to invite them to his client appreciation event. He can say a client.
You missed the A, yep, okay.
Yes, a client, and then it's going to go through all of his contacts that he has in his system and says, these are the contacts you have as an A client. You can select all of them and you can do 250 of these at a time. So you can send 250 at a time. If you have another 250, you can scroll to the bottom and press next and then send the other 250. And then you can come up here to mass text message. And in this message right here, you can paste or you can type whatever you want. I already have it typed up for you guys, so you don't have to watch me fumble on typing. But you're invited to our client appreciation event Saturday, July 23rd from 1 to 5. Enjoy swimming, pizza, and ice cream. RSVP at, and you can put a URL. And now that's going to send them a mass text message. And what's really nice is it's not going to be, they're not going to see that they're on a mass text. I know people are like, oh no, a group text message. It's not that. It is blind CC'd. Nobody will know that you sent this out mass to them. So you can come in here and paste that in and say send, and that is one way to do it. Another way that you can send a text message is you can come in here and you can filter. So if you're really utilizing kvCORE and you have people actively looking on your website for homes, and you could come in here and you could say, I have an open house. So we're going to come over here to property interest. I have an open house in Bountiful. And we're not going to put a price range. We're just going to say open house. You could filter it by price range if you wanted to, but you could say apply filters. I want to see anybody that's been on my website. He has 20 people, which is pretty great. You could come in here and you could select all of these and you could send a mass text message to all of these people and let them know, hey, I have an open house this weekend. Come check it out. This feature I've been using. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was just going to say, to be clear, that 20 people were 20 people who are on your website looking in Bountiful.
Yes. And another thing that's really cool about that is maybe you're going on a listing appointment. You could go and look and see how many people are actively looking on your website in Bountiful, and you could use that in your listing presentation. I actually have 20 people actively looking in Bountiful right now. You know, when you have a new listing, you can send that out to them. But we've been using this with open houses, and this has been a great tool of sending out and letting them know about the open house. Also advertising a new listing as soon as it goes active on your kvCORE on like Facebook. So advertising on Facebook, pointing over to your kvCORE account, and then sending a text message to all those people saying, hey, come check out this open house this Saturday. It's a great way to get a lot of people through an open house. And then what's really cool, I really like, is you can include a primary photo of the front of the home. So you're telling them about the open house, but let's entice them a little bit more to go to it, you know? So let's attach a photo of a property. You can type out the MLS ID, or you can type out the address. So I'm
So
sure there's not
one-
one,
no.
two, three.
No, do 188 1984. No, 1980, yeah. Yeah, look at,
Oh, there you go. So Springfield, you can select, and now if I say also send listing link, it's going to attach a primary photo of the front of the home of the property on the MLS as an attachment. And it's going to also send a link to that listing to your website with more information about that property.
can we see what this looks like?
Yes, let me, give me one moment. I'm going to send it to myself, so I'm not sending it to all these people.
Yeah, good point.
Roger would be like, what are you doing? Okay, tell me it again.
188 1984.
And then also send listing link. And then it's going to send the text message. You can go into their profile and then you can see the text message that gets sent out to them. So you can see there's a primary photo that gets sent out to them, has information about the open house, and then they can click on the link. And I just got a notification that I got a text message on my cell phone. And it has more information. You can see Roger's name's very clear at the top. It has his phone number. It also has his photo down here with his phone number, super branded to him. They can save the property. They can chat with you. They can look at the large photos and go through it. It's a really cool tool, you guys. And
Yeah.
you can use this for new listings, price changes, all sorts of different things.
What would have really been cool is you could have put on the top of that as part of your messaging, if you want to be Matt Barton's neighbor, buy this house.
Yes.
This is literally
There you go.
my neighbor's house. So that, yeah, that's self-serving.
That's awesome. So that's just a few ways to use it, guys. It's a really cool tool to use. I talked about the new listings, open houses that you can do. You can also tell them about your new home ownership app. So maybe you don't want to go in and filter it out. Maybe you just want to send a text message to everybody and let them know about your cool home ownership app. You could just select and go through 250 at a time. And how you would do this is right now I'm showing 10 rows, but you can change this to 250 people and you can send a text message out. But you would just send mass text and then you would paste this in here, check out our new homeownership app. It will update you in real time of your estimated home value. And you can also find your dream home by searching all available homes on the market. Check it out. And then put a link to your homeownership app. If you don't know where your homeownership app is, I can show you where that is. I'm not going to send. Let me show you where that app is. Just click on your name up here. And then it's right underneath your domain. That's your homeownership app where you can get the link. So that's just another way. I'm sure there's a ton of other text messages that Matt and I could come up with, but those are just 4 to get your mind rolling about different things that you could be sending out via text on here.
In that actual message dialogue, is there a way to, not the property where you put the MLS number and get a photo, but is there a way to attach an image to the text?
Right now, there is not.
Okay.
That is another request that we have put in, but as far as now, there is not. So if you're doing like a client appreciation event, I would go put a client appreciation event on like Eventbrite and have them go, they can get more info there. Or even Facebook, do a Facebook event.
There you go.
And link them over there. So that is a request that we are putting in.
Because you're going to show them a little bit later on the custom campaigns how to do something even like with Gold Nation, right?
I will. So that is going to be coming up next. I'm going to show you, let me jump back over here. So I showed you guys these, how to send out text messages. And then there's also sending a mass email. So text messages, of course, are going to have a better open rate, but it doesn't hurt to send an email too. You know, sometimes my text messages get a little overwhelmed and I don't read them all, but maybe you could send an email as well. And so you could say, subject, you're invited to an open house this Saturday, and then more information about the property. You can also send, go ahead, Matt, do you have something?
I was going to say, is this where I plug for BombBomb and doing video email in a mass fashion?
You can do that. Yes. It's not through email. It's through another place. I can show them after email. We'll
Okay.
show them BombBomb.
All right.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. I'm glad you pointed that out because I didn't have that in there. So we will talk about that. But yeah, so you can put the subject of it and then you can put the message in here, and you could also do a client appreciation event. And this is where you could put an image in, Matt. So this
Well-
is where you could go and add an image in here if you wanted to.
So here's the interesting thing, Aaron. I know this is kind of on the fly and a little off script, but I think it's important because as long as you can do text in your email, right, with any company like BombBomb, you actually don't have to have the picture, the video preloaded. You can actually send the URL. So you actually could do your BombBomb in here, like click this link for my video on whatever, XYZ.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and then another thing that you can do is you can say save templates, or you can grab a template that's already saved. So you guys all know we have Gold Insurance. They're an amazing insurance company. They search for the best rates out there. If you haven't used them, you should try them. Give them a shout. Go over to goldutah.insure and go check it out for yourself. But we have a template inside of kvCORE where you could send it to your clients, just letting them know. One thing that we are talking about is home values have all rose, right? But home value is not the same as it used to be 2 years ago. So is their insurance covering their home value of their home? Probably not. That might be a really good email to educate your clients and let them know you probably want to get a new home ownership quote, because it probably isn't covering everything that your home's worth. And so sending out an email, educating them about that and saying, I have a provider that's great, and they'll go and get you a competitive quote and send this email out to your clients. And it's already inside of.
Yeah, I've talked
kvCORE.
about this in sales meeting, right? We get kind of like target fixation as agents, and it's always some seems to center around, hey, are you ready to buy or sell? Are you ready to buy or sell? And sometimes that gets annoying with people. I think the successful agents are the ones that realize that just provide value, right? And this is a perfect example. Hey, hope you're enjoying the new home, or whatever the case may be. My experience is with my clients that they're not keeping up on their insurance. The good news is we have partnered with Gold, and no cost to you, just a value of you being a client. Call them up. They'll shop you across 20 companies. No commitment, nothing. It's just a service we want to provide for our client base, right? That now you're a giver. And as everybody knows, the givers that are in your SOI, if they're given something, tend to give back, whether it's a referral or anything else. So this is just the fun of marketing when you understand how it really works.
And I'm going to call you out a little bit, Matt, but I love the call, but I also like sending them to the website, because if you're in my generation or younger, picking up that phone call, not for me, but for some people, they don't want to do that. So they can just go to the website and
you
they
guys
can
are a
fill
bunch
out
of
the form.
recluses. Yeah, you're
I'm
socially
not,
inept.
but you can just go to the website, fill out the form, and they'll get you a quote. That's all you have to do. You don't have to talk to somebody.
For sure.
They'll just send it over to you. So that's inside of kvCORE. What you would do is when you're in to send an email, just go look for the template Gold Insurance Solutions. It populates for you. You don't have to put any of this information in. I'm going to go show you how easy it is. So let's go over to kvCORE. Let's go into mine. So my profile that I have in here, and we're going to say send email.
Meaning you as an SOI member.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, me, because I'm a client of Rogers. So I'm going to go into Rogers client, that's Aaron, and then go into template. And then we're going to go and just type out Gold. So we're going to type out Gold Insurance Solutions of Utah. And then it populates it all. It's all here for you. You don't have to put anything, your signature is included in it. And then you can just press the send, and then it's going to send the email. And it's that easy. Now that it's that easy, how many emails do you send over and over and over again, the same email, but to different clients? Probably a lot. I know I do, and I have templates saved. And so I want to show you guys also how to go add a template inside of kvCORE. But before I do that, because Matt was talking about core video, I'm going to show you guys how to send a core video. Well, I'm not going to show you how. I'm going to show you where it is. If you decide to prompt your BombBomb with your kvCORE account, you would just come over here to core video, and it just pops up. Mine's going to say I need to upgrade, but then you can just record a video just like you do on BombBomb if you're familiar, and then a BombBomb will be sent out the same way I just did a text message, the same way I just did an email. And this is an additional cost. It's $30 a month, but Matt said it's cheaper than going
Way
through
cheaper than
BombBomb.
the $55 a month I pay for a standalone account.
Yeah, so you can just go upgrade premium and then it will prompt you and then you go put in your credit card info and it will add it to there. Another thing that you can do while we're talking about core video is you can also do a voicemail drop. Has anybody gotten a voicemail from somebody and you're like, my phone never rang? How did I miss that call? It's a voicemail drop. So what you can do is you can record something. Maybe you say, hey, I wanted to invite you to my client appreciation event this Saturday, but you don't want to have that 200 conversations. I mean, I would suggest you have those 200 conversations, but if you're busy and you aren't able to, voicemail drop is a great way to do it. You can just record it and then drop it into their voicemail. So it won't even show that you called them. It will just show them that they have a new voicemail. They'll pick it up and they'll listen to it. And they'll probably think, oh, I was on the phone with somebody else and it just went to my voicemail. Or I was in my car connected to Bluetooth and it just went to my voicemail. Like they won't know. The majority of people won't know. We know because we're in marketing, we're in sales, but the majority of people won't realize.
Oh,
that's
Aaron,
what happened.
you're missing such an opportunity with this. A lot of people know this, are familiar with this with an app like Slide Dial or things like that, but this is integrated in your system. Hey guys, as realtors, if you ever have bad news, you can just drop it into a voicemail drop and send it out and hopefully fly under the, I'm kidding. I'm not really proposing that.
Question. So,
Hey, me,
okay,
would you grow a little? I'm catching your nose and above.
well, you told me I wasn't like appropriately dressed, but I'm wearing two shirts. But anyway, okay, don't pick on me, Matt. Okay, I just want to understand this. So voicemail drop. So is that something that reaches their phone, but it doesn't ring, but just leave them a message?
Yes.
Very slick.
So I just record whatever I want to say to this mass, send it through the voicemail, and then it'll just reach them, but they're not having a live conversation. That's cool. Okay.
Yep.
And it isn't like it's part of kvCORE, but it is an additional cost. I do have to tell you that.
Okay.
But you would have to pay for it through Slide Dial and stuff. And you can go look at so you have 150 voicemails for $20 a month, which isn't bad. You can do 500 for $50 a month. So 10 cents a voicemail. So there's different ways that you can do that. You could even do it like I have a new open house. I mean, I have an open house this weekend, or I have a new listing, and send them a voicemail. So,
and like Matt was mentioning, I confess I have over the years used Slide Dial a few times. It comes in handy when you have a very high maintenance client
Yes.
and you need to connect with them, but you really don't want to get tied up on a 30-minute conversation. Oh, I'm so sorry that we didn't connect, but here's a quick update. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.
It's kind of handy once in a while, but I wouldn't, you still need those.
No,
of
obviously the people you connect with have a conversation, but we all have some percentage of our SOI that, and they're not even bad people, but sometimes they just literally, you can't get them off the phone for a half an hour, and guys, time is money, right?
yep.
So
I agree.
Aaron, when it says 500 voicemails, that's not you sending out 500. It's to 500. It's referring to 500 people or 200.
Yes, 500 people.
So
Mhm.
if you're sending out one message for your client appreciation, you're sending it to 250 people. That's the $30.
Yep, it is.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Awesome. And then, okay, you guys, we talked about gold insurance and how you can use that template, but everybody wants to know how to put a template in, right? So let me go over and show you how to do the templates. So when you're inside of your kvCORE, we're going to go over to marketing, and then we're going to go to smart campaigns. And inside of here, if you go to templates, you can do a template inside of here as an email or a text message. So you can even do text message templates if you want. It's super easy. Just come in here to email, add template. You can select email or text. So we're going to do email, template name, the subject, and then the content of the email, and you just save. And that's all you have to do to it. You can even say, I want to include my signature every time, and it would save that template every time. So just put in test, and then you can put in the subject and then the content of the email and save. And one thing that's really cool too, is when you're putting in the content, what I really like is You can even say, I want to do lead first name. And now what it's going to do is you don't even have to put their first name in there. It's going to grab their first name from the profile and you could say, hi, Matt, if it's Matt, your client. And then you could go in and say, check out this new listing, and what's nice is, it's going to be different every time you do a new listing, but you have it all templated out. And then you could just put in the address right here, so maybe you just put in a default address of 123 Main Street in Layton. I think you may like this, but instead of typing this out every single time you want to send one, all you would have to do is change this address right here. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it also makes it indirectly points out how important it is that you have your SOIN and scrubbed appropriately so that you're not missing a first name and all of a sudden it says hi blank, comma.
My favorite one is people that do a lot of online leads and the person registered with a foul name, and then you send a text message or an email out to them and it says that name that they registered with. Yeah, that's always interesting. Fun to go through some of those leads. Yeah, but like Matt said, make sure that their first name is right if you're going to be using this. Or you could just say hi, but it's a little bit more indirect. I will tell you though, one thing that we did with an agent that really uses this, and it's Ted Payne out of St. George. We actually took this first name and we plugged it into the subject line, and his response was amazing because it actually had their name in the subject line and they started opening the emails up for him. So just letting you know some tips and tricks to get around that. You can put the first name in the subject line. And then you just press add template. And then when you go look for that template, when you go add anything, you just look for the name of the template you saved it as. And then it's yours. It won't show up on anybody else's. It's your template inside of your kvCORE. And then talking about this, so that's how you do a template. I know some people want to do smart campaigns, but this is where I would start, is just using templates. And when you start going into smart campaigns, when you make a campaign, you have to grab templates. So it gets a little more complicated. I can help you guys with that if you're ever interested in doing campaigns, but there are campaigns inside of your kvCORE. There's 10-week campaigns, 30-day drip. There's a bunch of different ones inside of here. There is new buyer and new seller. And like I said, you can create your own campaign as well.
Hey, Aaron, question on those campaigns that are there. Is there ability to either edit them themselves or duplicate them and then edit them more to your liking?
Yeah, so you would just highlight it and then come over here to duplicate. Oh, wait, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, come into here and then clone the campaign. And then you can clone it and then you can remove what you don't like off of there.
Very nice.
Or you can change it.
Very nice, very flexible, and you can insert some additional things.
Yep. Just know when you're inserting inside of a campaign, before you insert it in campaign, it has to be a template over here. So you have to make the template either email template or the text template. So you can come in here and do a text like new listing, and then you can put in the content and then add a template, and then that would add it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then I think I went over everything over there. Let me jump back over, you guys, because I just want to show you one. I wish there was a slicker way to do that, but okay. One other thing is the kvCORE recordings. For the people that are on the call that weren't here for the other calls, we did record everything, so it's on it's on remaxofutah.com. When you log into there, go to the training vault and then go to kvCORE, and you can see all the training modules in here. Also, I want to give a plug to Matt because it's not only kvCORE, but you also have Matt's contract training and also his broker minute training. I mean, his
Principal broker minute or two.
Yes, thank you. They're on there as well. So any of the trainings that we've done in the past and you need to go watch, they're on remaxofutah.com.
Which is kind of slick, especially with the contract training and the PB minutes. You can go up to the search field once you're on that tab and search for escrow instructions. And if that's anywhere in my title of any of the trainings we've done, it'll pop up. So it kind of becomes a repository of quick hitter information if you know how to utilize it. Aaron, fantastic job. If you could, before you go to this, I want you to go back to your profile, right? As if you were the client in kvCORE. And then the one that had the text. Yeah, there we go. So listen, guys, I hope you're catching the vision here, and I'm sure some of you may even be a little overwhelmed with some of the components. I'm glad that Aaron just showed that these are recorded, because especially today, there was a lot of mileage covered on the things that can be done. And so the fact that it's recorded, you can go back in and watch your clicks if you don't remember exactly where something is. But I hope we're shifting the mindset, right? Not only of those that are on the call, but those that will watch this going forward, that this really does become a very workable dashboard. And it's not that you have to be here 24/7, but going back to the previous module, the daily hustle, if you get used to going into the dashboard, and when you're dealing with somebody, knowing, like on the right-hand side here, all the flexibility that you have, the things that you can do, it's like anything in life. If you do it consistently, it yields results, but it yields even more results when it's a well thought out system with a lot of flexibility. And that's why we're spending the time training on kvCORE. And I hope you're seeing that, catching the vision. And even if you're only going to implement a couple things right out of the gate, I'm telling you, that's going to be time well spent. And so, yeah, good for you for being here. Aaron, pop up that last slide set with the modules. Yeah, so we have now, we did the we don't have the SOI one. That was module 1. We've done the daily hustle. We've now covered easy and powerful marketing. And you probably may want to reach out to Erin and her marketing team if you're either confused or looking for additional flexibility in how to actually apply it with your SOI. And is it next? Yeah, next week is going to be, oh, sorry, we're doing looking the part on the 5th of July.
Yeah, and looking the part is going to be the website overview. So showing you what you can do and customizing like your photo and the background photo of the website. Just make looking the part is what it's called. And then we have Core Presents on July 12th.
Yep.
Okay, and all of these are on the, like we said before, Remax of Utah. They're all recorded.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what you guys do with it. And as we move this forward in a more meaningful direction within the company, I'm just here to make a prediction, right? I know from being a principal broker for 16, 17 years that half of our agent population doesn't do a lot in the business. And of the remaining 50%, there's the 20% of the top of that does 80% of the business. And there's a reason why they do that. It's because they have systematized. So if you're not in that 20%, or if you want to move up higher in that 20%, this is a very viable vehicle to move you in that direction. So thanks for being on the call, and hope it was worth your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
It was
Okay.
a great class, Aaron.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Aaron. I feel very shifted right now.
You guys feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Thanks.
Okay. See you
Okay,
guys.
have a good one. Bye.